Alright, so welcome to part two. This is the second part of the tutorial on drawing a pencil case. So if you remember, we are going to draw this shape, this is my sketch model. It's not accurate. I haven't actually worked out all the measurements yet, but it kind of gives me something to start with, start drawing. So that's what we're going to draw. So I'll just put that down there. And remember, this is a process. So remember, the design brief was just to design a small gift for Year 13 students when they leave. So now I showed you the sketch, I showed you the sketch model just a minute ago, and now we're into the CAD prototype. So, okay, so you can follow this. So first thing is make sure that you've got the grid lock on. Now I changed this to a 5mm grid. I think that's sufficient. All my measurements are mostly going to be multiples of 5 and 10. There might be, I think I've got a 12 and a 26 as well, but it's okay. Don't worry about where to start on the page. You can always move stuff afterwards, but I'm just going to plonk it in the middle here. And I'm going to go, if you look down at the bottom down here in where it says relative measurements, in that window there, that will tell you the size of the rectangle that you're drawing. So I want it to be 180 by 50. There we go, 180 by 50. Now why did it draw it in a red line? So we can immediately change the color of the line. So here are the line colors. So line color, oops, sorry, that's a line, type of line color. And we'll just stick with black for now. And maybe it was black. It seemed to be red. Okay, that's all right. Yeah, it is black. Now for the laser cutter, you must use the fine line. You can't, that's basically the path of the laser that you're doing there. Okay. Right, the next thing is I'm going to do some side tabs, and these are 15 high, so that's 3 boxes. There we go, one on that side as well. If you make a mistake like that, you can go back. All right, so over here on the right hand side, you've got undo, and then you can try again. There we go. Whoops, did that wrong. Undo. You can also delete it, but undo is pretty cool. Go across like that. That 3, yes. Okay, so there we go. Now that looks great, but if you remember, we've drawn 5 rectangles. So along this line here, there's actually going to be 2 lines. It'll go over it twice. And we don't want that. So we need to delete it. So if you hold this down, you can delete part of an object between the nearest 2 intersections, right? And what you do is point the finger at it. So if I click on that, I've got rid of one line, but it really doesn't look any different. If I do it again, though, it'll disappear. So if that does happen, you press it twice by mistake, just undo. So I'm going to get rid of one of these lines, one of those lines, and one of those lines. If you're in any doubt, just do it again. Ah, you see, no, I missed that. Oh, right, I didn't have this. There we go. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to do it one more and just, yes, okay, that's gone. Take this one. Oh, that's annoying that when you do the undo, this disengages. So there we go. So that's all right. Get that back again. Yep, that's okay. All right, so we're good. So this is just one line, which is what we want. Now, the next thing we're going to do is put the lid on. Now, you may have noticed I'm zooming in and out quite freely. If you definitely use a mouse when you're using drawing with CAD, because if you use the scroll wheel, you can zoom in and out really easily, and it'll zoom in and out wherever you've got the cursor pointing. So if you put the cursor there, it'll zoom in and out in the corner. Put the cursor here, and that saves a huge amount of time. You don't have to use these magnifying glasses. So I'm going to zoom out a bit. I'm going to draw my lid, and that's got to be 50. And you see, 50 by 180. And you see, by having the grid on, it just makes it so easy. Make sure that we get rid of that double line. I'm going to do it one more time just to make sure. Yes, that's okay. Undo that. And now we can put the what should we do next? Oh yeah, so I want to put two curves. Let's go back and have a look at the picture. Yeah, I want to put these curves on here, one there and one there. Okay, so to do that, we can use this tool here. Now this is draw an arc through 3 points. All right. I've just remembered something. Before I do that, I'm going to put the center line in, because I've got a lot of things that go through the center. I'm going to have this fixing method here. I want to get this symmetrical, so I'm actually going to draw that center line in. Oh yeah, and the fixing method here as well. Now that's really useful if you want something symmetrical. So I'm going to put the center line in, and it should be directly in the middle. So how do you find the middle of that? Well, there's loads of ways you could do it, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line exactly 90 long. And this is where you're looking for the measurements down here in this box here. So it's a second window in, right? And we want that to be 90 and 0, which is what it is. Right, that's our middle, and then we'll just put a line down the middle there. Whoops, did that wrong. Undo. So for those of you that have used this for lots of projects before, you can kind of go through this quite quickly, but this is really for the beginners amongst you as well. How do we get rid of this line? Select it, and you can press delete on the keyboard. The other thing you could use is you could use delete any. That would have got rid of it as well. Let's go back. Delete any. Select it, delete any, and you can delete it like that. Delete on the keyboard shortcuts, even better. Let's put it back to that. Right, so now, oh yes, I was going to do the curves. Now the curve is 25 from there to there, and we want it to go from here, point in the middle, and to there. So I'm going to choose this one with 3 points, and dead easy because I've got the grid lock on. This needs to be 25, so that's 5 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then double click to finish. There we go. Okay, it's so easy to draw. I'm just going to draw it again down here. Whilst I'm at it. There. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Double click to finish. Oops, I didn't do it. So I've done undo. Select that again. Got to double click at the end. There we go. All right, so we're getting on well here. And now let's go and have a look at the photo again. So these flaps here, where the pencil goes in, I'll show you it. Yeah, there we go. See, the pencil goes through the middle there. The measurements for that, they're 20 long, and they are... Oh, I've got the measurement for that. Hang on, let's have a look. What's that going to be? I think it's going to be 10. I'm going to measure it. Oh, that's 15. Okay. Yeah, it's 15. All right, so it's 20 by 15. All right, and I've kind of done a sketch, and I've figured out where I need to put the lines in. So I'm going to zoom in. There we are, so I can see it. I'm going to draw these flaps here on that base. Okay, so First of all, I'm going to put a line in, and I want it to be 12 from the edge here. So now these are multiples of 5, remember? So we need to go to step lock, and that was multiples of 1. And now we can go, that would be 10, 10, 11, 12, and then we go across there. Now it's quite easy to draw a horizontal line, but if for some reason you can't, there's a thing called a radial lock, which is this tool here, and that definitely guarantees that it's horizontal, which is quite useful. You do need to turn it off though. We want another line down here, 12 from the bottom, so 10, 11, 12, and I think I can do this one without using a radial lock. There we go. So these are just construction lines, and I'm going to delete them afterwards. Okay, so the little places where the pencils go, can you go 40 in? So that's 10, 20, 30, let's do it again, 10, 20, 30, 40 in, and this has got to be 15. Alright, so we can go from here to there, and now I can put even when you're halfway through drawing, you can change this to grid lock. There we go. That looks alright, and 20 long. Bingo. Now it is in fact half a millimeter out. It's 12 on one side and it's 13 on the other. Sorry, no, it's 7 on one side and 8 on the other, but I'm not going to worry about it. To solve that, what you could do is change the grid lock to half a millimeter, and that would solve it. But I think I'm not really going to notice. Right, so to draw the other ones, what we could do is just select that and copy it. There's a little tag here, and let's have a look at all these tags on here. So when you select an object, you have this one here, which is rotate. This one flips it. You won't see any change when you do this on a rectangle. This one flips it this way, horizontally, and that copies. All right, so you've got some little shortcuts here. Rotating is a bit of a tricky one because it's sometimes difficult to get it exactly at 90 degrees. But I'll show you a way of doing that later on. So I'm going to zoom back out, and we want to copy it. And we want to put the other one, and I think I want it 20 from the end and in the middle. So I'm going to place it there, and then I want another copy, and I'm going to put this one 20 from the end. Oh, hang on, that's 10 from the end, isn't it? That's 20 from the end. Forgot this was a 5mm grid. Okay, we need one more. There we go. I want it 40 from the end, so 10, 20, 30, 40. There we go. Okay, so that's the lines in. Now, it's obviously not right because these are all going to be cut lines, so it will just cut the rectangle out. But in fact, I want it to hinge along one edge. Zoom in there. I want that to hinge, so I want that to be an engraved line, and this and this and this needs to be cut. So 3 cuts, but this one engrave. That's the same for all of them. So how do we do that? Well, I don't think we need these center lines here anymore, so I'm going to select it and just press delete on the keyboard. Select and press delete. So that tightens it up a bit, and oh, but we do need the lines through the middle here, so I'm going to undo that, and instead of doing that, I'm going to use the delete tool and get rid of the bits I don't want, which are all these, but I want to keep the ones in here. There we go. So that's all right. And now I need to make this line and this line. Hang on, let's go with that. I want this line and this line. I want to be in. For engrave, it needs to be in green, and for the other ones, I want in blue. So first of all, I'm going to. There's a number of ways of selecting things, as you're probably aware. One of them is using a selection box. So some people find this quite difficult. You actually have to start above and to the left of it, your first point. And obviously, second point's easier, it needs to be inside the box. I see people do this. They start here and it's not inside the box. So get that. We can select all that and we can change the color, the line color to blue. Now, for the colors, it has to be these custom colors at the bottom. And the ones that we're going to choose for this project are blue for cut and green for engrave. So this, I'm going to just turn them all blue first. And the laser cut will cut those, cutter will cut them. But this one here, I want it a different color. So how do we do that? So we can select all that and we can explode it. Up there. Continue. Okay. And now when we look at it, they're all separate lines. If I want to, so I think I'm just going to explode that whilst I'm at it. Continue. Okay. And then I need to select the lines that I want in green. So if you hold the Shift key down on the keyboard, you can select that one, that one, that one, and that one. And they all need to be in green. So we go to color, take my finger off the Shift key, change it to green. Okay, I'm going to click. If you just kind of click somewhere where there's nothing, you can just see whether you've done the right thing. So I exploded it, and then I could choose individual bits of the rectangle. So I'd do exactly the same there, although it seems like a bit of a waste of time that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to delete that, press delete on the keyboard, I'm going to get that, I'm going to copy it, but I'm going to make sure I've got the step lock on, which I have. If you do that without the step lock on, you won't be able to get it lined up. And that has to be 20 from the end, which is there. There we go. So that by using copy and paste, you can speed the whole process up quite considerably. Right, what now? Ah, yes. So we're getting there. Now for the push studs, which if you don't know what they are, I've got a video about the different joining methods. But basically, you need a very, very small hole to put the push stud through. And on this one, it needs to be 50 millimeters from the edge, so we want it there. So to draw a very small circle, and I know what size it's got to be, so I'm going to double click on the circle, and note this is radius, okay? Very easy to get radius and diameter confused. You kind of assume it's diameter, and this needs to be 0.5. All right, so 0.5. It's a very, very small hole, and it needs to be, so I'm using scroll wheel to zoom in. It needs to be, remember these are 5, so that's 5, 10, 15. One there, you click once and then click again, okay? Just see that. Right, now to draw it again, what I would do is copy it. So I've drawn a selection box around it. I'm going to copy it. It's very important that the step lock's on, so that we can reposition it up here. So to move this, what you do, I'm going to zoom in a bit so you can see, is that you click and don't hold on the center yellow square like that. So I just clicked once, and then you click again to place it. But before I can do that, I can zoom out with the scroll wheel, zoom in with the scroll wheel, and this needs to be 15 millimeters up, so it needs to be there. Okay, because yeah, that's okay. If I wasn't quite sure whether that was going in the right place, I would change it to the grid lock. There we go, that's definitely right. There we go. There are 2 holes, that's where the push studs are going to go through. And now we're on to the 2 arms, so let's go and have a look at the 2 arms on here. There we go. But I've changed the design quite considerably, but it's basically, what I'm going to do is draw one here and then mirror it about that center line and then put it over there. Okay. So let's just, where's it gone? There we go. Right, so for this piece, this has got to be 100 long, because we want it, that's 90, so we want it to go past it. So we can get the rectangle tool. There we go. Remember, down here looking at the measurements. So 100, look at that. Bingo. All right, I'm not going to do the other one because it's going to be identical to this one. All right, so now the actually I'm going to go to the one that I laser cut to show you what it's going to look like. Why can't I? Oh, okay. All right, so that's what I'm going to draw, something similar to that. And these, they're the little holes there. And this is, I've actually changed dimensions a bit on this, but this is a little bit less. It goes across there. And I actually got this position of this circle in the wrong place. Now this is to go over the push stud, so it's not actually going to be fixed with the push stud, it's just going to go over it on both sides, and then the push stud is going to be here and it's going to push against that one and lock together. And they're just going to, the push studs are 10 millimeters, so that will fit over the top. But what I forgot was that this is actually going to be folded up. So I've got this too far down. So the center of this needs to be just 15 millimeters down, and I got it wrong on this prototype. Okay, so just 15 millimeters down and a 10 millimeter diameter circle for the just to go over the top of the push stud. All right, so oops, press escape if you do that, and I'm going to zoom in down here. There we are, and it's going to be 15 millimeters down and 10 from the edge. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a line down like that, kind of a center line, and then we need to put the 10 millimeter hole, so radius 5, remember. Okay, and it's got to be 15 from there. So there we go, once, twice. Okay, and the end of here, this is another 1 centimeter past it. All right, oh, so I actually got that spot on. So the end of the card needs to be here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a circle with the same center. Now, yeah, this center happens to be on the grid. Now, if it, for when you're doing your own design, it happens to be off the grid, what you've got to do is use this the attach tool, which is this square here. So if I double click on it, you've got some other options. Intersection's really useful, and also center of circle is really useful. Actually, I'm going to take that one off. So you have to kind of select where you want it to attach to. So I want it in the center of the circle. So, I mean, it will actually do it anyway because the grid lock's on. But if I take the grid lock off, as long as I've got that center of that circle inside that square, so I'm going to purposely do it really wrong. You can see that's wrong. When I click, you see it jumps to the center, which is really useful. But actually doing the grid lock would have been easier. There we go. So I'm going to go like that, I think. Yeah, let's do that. And then I'm going to join it up the line. Need to remember to take the attached tool off. Put a line there, line there. I want this to be a curve here. So how can I do that? Let's have a look. I think I'm going to use the yeah, I'm going to try this one, this 3.1 again. So I'm going to put a point there. I wonder whether this is going to work. Oh yeah, okay. There we are. That's all right. Oh, I'm not entirely happy with that. What I really want is a tangent from here to there, but that's going to be okay. All right. So there's a load of lines there that we don't want, of course, and the one to really remember, I don't think I deleted the double line here, so I'm going to go and delete that. Yes, just try again. Yeah, okay. Undo, and now we can get rid of. I think we can get rid of that line there. Oops. Yes, let's done that again. Get rid of that line. That. And that. And there we go. There's our shape. The only thing is, we've only got one of them. So how do we get this back? You can press media. There we go. And we want another one over there. And we also want it all the right colors and everything. So this, what should we do? I think the first most important thing to do is to group it. So grouping is a really useful tool if you want things to kind of stay together, and you can do it by pressing Control G. That will group it. So because I know that's correct and I don't want anything to change there, so that's done. There we go. And I want to mirror it, and I want to mirror it about this center line which I conveniently drew earlier on. And the way you do that is choose this tool here. Now, it may not be selected, so you'll find you have to press down with the left-hand button and go to mirror. Here you want to keep the original, so you want to repeat it, okay? And then all you do is draw a bit of line here. It's not actually going to draw a line, it's just a mirror line, and then you see the other side's appeared there. There we go. We've gone off the page here, which is not a problem, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to just move it over. Look at that, fits perfectly. Okay, do we have any lines that we don't want? Well, we've got loads of lines that we don't want. And I think the first thing we're going to do is explode everything. I wonder whether I can do that. Yes. Explode. There we go. So I've exploded it. Now they're all individual lines, and we can decide whether they're going to be green or black. Okay, so I think I might have a double line here. No, I don't. It's okay. Right. So let's go and select some lines. So hold the Shift key down, and we can select all the green lines. So that needs to be green. That one. That one. That one. And that one. And that one. Oh, and this one. And that one. There we go. Go to line color. Green. There we go. Click in a space, and then you can see it's all green. Now we've got some lines that are black. So what should we do? Oh yes, let's just select. We can hold the Shift key down, and we can go around and select all that and that and all this. I think reflecting on this, it might have been better just to turn everything blue first, and then change the few lines to green. But I'm going to do it this way anyway, like this, and then we go color, blue. Okay, there we go. Let's have a look at that. I missed that, so select that. hold the shift key down, select that. Oh, that didn't, that's interesting. Didn't explode. Okay. Blue. There you go. It seemed to keep this line and this line together, so I selected and then deselected it. This one I missed. So yeah, I think on reflection it would have been best just turn everything blue first and then go back and change the green lines. Now, do we still want this center line? I don't think we do. So I'm going to delete that. Delete. Got the circles there. Now on my my prototype, I thought I needed a, a line to fold it, but in fact I don't. I remember now. I don't want that at all because that's not going to bend. It's going to bend. This bit's going to bend. Oh, what about the circles here? These tiny little circles. They need to be blue because they're going to be cut out. There we go. And there we have it. I think it's done. Right, so the final thing you can do, which is really useful, is select selection box all the way around and Control G to group it all. And then your piece is ready to be laser cut. I think that's it.